If you like what you see here, please donate to ModernPagan.tv. Just go to our website, www.modernpagan.tv, and look for the donate button. We appreciate your contributions to keep ModernPagan.tv on the air and on the internet. And now, back to live ModernPagan.tv.
All right. We had a little technical difficulty with our computer. We weren't able to get into the chat room, and we are in the chat room now, so that's really cool. So if you have any questions, actually the theme of the show, everybody said, what's the theme of the show tonight? The theme of the show tonight is going to be Pagan Parenting 2. If you tuned in last night, or if you've seen the last show, or you've seen the archival footage, I think Joy presented a very positive, it's a no big deal view of having a pagan household with children. Don't you agree?
Well, I think that's probably what I would have seen from that. But I think I've known other people, and I myself have had some other experiences where it hasn't been quite such a big, bright, yellow, shiny road. I think it's a good idea. And I know that a lot of people, I have friends in other states and other places who've had some really tremendous stuff. You know, kids who've been sent home for wearing pentagrams. Children have been told that they have to go and change their T-shirts because it has a religious message that they didn't agree with, while other kids can wear their crosses or whatever else. So I think I'm glad that some people have that experience and they don't have to worry about it. But on the other hand, like I said, I think there's something to be thought about whether, do you want to be that open in school and stuff. So,
and then dealing with issues of secrecy. I mean, I think that it can be very destructive in a family to have secrets that children can't share. We certainly know from situations in which there's abuse going on in the home that kind of secrecy is also a form of abuse. So I think that's an issue too. So we're actually going to be talking about that at the bottom of the hour.
Well, and a lot of it too, I think, looks at just one of the things I want to think about too is how much of, especially my practice of Wicca, is appropriate for children. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that's pretty deep. I mean, it's one thing to be like I said, and we have that old saying, that all Wiccans are pagans, but not all pagans are Wiccans. Right. So some of my points of view won't mesh with all pagan experiences, but some of the things we do just really would either bore kids to death or they wouldn't really get it. So I said there's a lot of that we need to look at too. Right. So.
Yeah, no, I think that's really good. And if you've checked out under About the Show, if you check out the bios there, you'll see that that Drake wasn't himself raised in a pagan household.
Oh, by a long shot. No, I was the classic fundamentalist Christian background with a really huge emphasis on the mental part. So it's like, it was really hard to think about that when I had children. Mental. Our version of religion had a lot of really strange things going on with it. I mean, we didn't handle snakes, but that was just because we couldn't really find any in Illinois. Garter snakes weren't really quite as impressive, but it was about as scary as that. Speaking in tongues, falling over, passing out, demons everywhere, kind of thing. But
sounds like Dragon Fest.
Yeah, kind of in a certain way. There wasn't as much booze though. But ultimately, the bottom line was, my wife and I decided that, she was raised really strict Catholic and I was raised fundamentalist. We didn't have an option to look at other religions and choose other religions. So, and we could talk about that more when we get into that segment, but, it's like we really made a point that we weren't going to raise little witches. We were going to raise children who had the freedom to think, that had cognitive reasoning skills, so that when they got old enough, they could make choices on religion on their own. And I saw somebody here ask if it would be okay if they would be Methodist or whatever. I think I would be okay with my children going anywhere as long as it's a positive religion, as long as it's a religion that isn't teaching them to hate themselves, to hate others. I would probably stand really hard if somebody tried to, recruit them to the KKK or something, or some sort of hatred-based religion. But I think, they should have the freedom to be able to go wherever they need to.
Right.
So.
Right. Okay. So that's the theme, and that's coming up, right? Absolutely.
That's great.
All right, yeah. So I noticed there's some really good discussion going on. If you have questions specifically for us, then if you'll type in Drake or Laura so that we know that you want to address specifically to us, that would be really good. And now I promised you the Krafty Kitchen Witch would do a segment on feasting and being a good Italian. She's going to teach us how to do lasagna.
Right.
Hi, I'm Carmen Consalvo, and this is the Krafty Kitchen Witch.
Wow, Carmen, this looks absolutely fascinating. What are we doing? I mean, that looks like a salad.
All right. Well, actually, it is fresh spinach.
Oh, it is spinach.
Yes, it
cool.
is.
All
And,
right.
I'm not going to let you taste it right now because, we need it for the recipe. So today on our Krafty Kitchen Witch segment, we are going to make some lasagna for your holiday
I love that.
Yule
I love that.
feast. A variety of different people, everybody does different stuff. In Italian households, lasagna is a big thing for Yule.
Lasagna's a big thing.
Lasagna is a big thing. All right, so the
Okay.
first thing you're going to do is I'm going to have you chop up the garden. Not the garden.
garden?
Don't do the
Okay.
garden because we
All
need
right.
the garden. Chop up our garlic. I like to use elephant garlic. This recipe actually calls for 8 cloves of garlic.
That's a lot.
Yeah, part of it is used in the sauce, and part of it is used in this part of it, which is
Okay.
the cheese sauce. So here's
cheese.
our
I like
handy-dandy
cheese.
little knife here, and I'm going to have you chop up the garlic. Just have
Okay.
fun
Do I
with
have to
it.
smash it first?
Nah,
Like the French?
Just
Okay.
yeah.
All right.
Just chop it. I get
Okay.
in the kitchen. If it says mince, I just you know what? I'm just chopping it. I'm gonna make it as tiny as I can.
Okay.
And so
I can
we're
do
gonna we're gonna get it all cut up.
Okay.
And
what are we
basically, you
doing?
can use your favorite sauce, your favorite marinara pasta sauce for this recipe. We're for this. Because, it takes all day long to cook the sauce, we've just pulled some jarred sauce. And we're just going to use some jarred sauce today. But you
might do that at home. I mean,
Yeah,
seriously,
yeah.
all of a sudden you go, oh my God, ritual tonight,
Exactly.
lasagna. No sauce.
Exactly.
All right,
Exactly. So you always got to keep some of that, on hand in your cupboard and whatnot. So
Absolutely.
But anyways, yeah. So we're going to chop up the garlic, or cut it up nice and however tiny you want to do it.
Okay.
Like I said, I've used elephant garlic for everything all the time, and I'm one of these Italian cooks that if the recipe calls for 2 garlics, I have to put 4 or 6. Because the more garlic.
Well, garlic's good for you. anyways.
Delicioso, yes.
Good for your heart.
Yeah, it is. It is very good for you. Okay,
All right.
so we just turned our hot plate on. We've got it to medium high. So go ahead and pour a little bit of oil
much?
in there, about a tablespoon of oil, table and a half, whatever. A couple
Okay.
tablespoons, something like that.
All right.
We're Italian. We don't measure anything. Well, you just throw it in.
All right, how's that look?
Sometimes we
Does that
measure.
look-
Yeah,
look
that
good?
looks fine. Okay, so now we're going to throw our garlic in there.
Okay.
And then we've got some wonderful fresh spinach here, of course, that we're going to
I
throw
know,
in
I was
there.
gonna eat
And
that.
yes, I know. And we'll throw in a little at a
Oh,
time.
we're actually going to cook that?
Yes, we are. We're going to throw this in with that and saute the whole thing.
Okay. Just like throw it all
Yeah,
in.
I would throw maybe about a couple handfuls right now until it cooks up pretty good, and then you can throw in some more after that. And then we've also got our basil. We're going to throw. Whoops. I'm just throwing things around. That's all I'm doing here. Okay, so then you're going to take a couple of teaspoons of basil and throw that in
Am I going to
there.
measure that?
Sure.
Couple teaspoons.
Just in
That's
case
2.
somebody decides to get technical. Yeah, just pour it in. What the heck, Hey, it's not like baking a cake. You don't have to be exact. This is cooking a wonderful Italian dish.
Okay.
So, and then we've got our trusty little spoon here. My favorite seasoning blend. You sprinkle a bunch of that in there.
Okay. I can
Yeah.
do that. Just a bunch. Is that like a bunch? All
Yeah,
right,
that's
a
fine.
bunch.
That'll
Okay.
do.
All right.
And we just saute it up and, make it all nice and Now, yes.
Too bad we don't have smell-o-vision.
We'll try to work on that. See if we can get any of our.
Let's talk to the producers about that.
Yeah, definitely. Now, for some of the other meal side dishes and whatnot, of course, people like to start with a nice salad, and I love to do fresh spinach for my salad. An Italian dressing, or you can mix up a Italian vinaigrette. And one of the other nice things that you can do, vary your salad, maybe throw some tomatoes, or you can use like mandarin oranges or strawberries or something like
mandarin
that.
oranges and spinach go together really. And poppy
very
seeds.
good.
I like
very
all
good.
those.
Yeah.
And you can get stopped, get a drug test, be positive.
Oh, God, I hope not. Well, luckily, I don't drive for a living, so,
Okay.
So we just keep sauteing that until it's, nice and cooked up.
It's starting to cook because I can hear it sizzling.
Gosh. Yeah, you can hear it sizzling. Oh, my gosh, it smells so good.
I know,
doesn't
it smells great.
It smells good. And my whole house.
So now what are we doing?
We're just continuing to saute it up.
Okay.
Keep
all right.
mixing
now
it up.
I'm going to use all that?
Pretty much.
All
I'm going to use the majority of it in there, and we'll just throw some more in there periodically. Because it kind of, after it cooks down a little bit, you'll see it looked like it's really full at first, but once it cooks down a little bit more, you're going to have a lot more space.
Okay.
And if you want, you can actually, at home, if you guys want, you can take the little stems off if you want, but we're just going to throw it in because it's fine. It's fine with the stems. Hey, it adds more iron and whatever else.
Ooh.
Okay, now the next step, we're going to throw
What next step? I'm going to eat this.
ricotta cheese. We're just going to you take about 2 cups of ricotta cheese and pour it in there.
We need to make some ricotta cheese. I know how to make ricotta cheese.
Oh, well, that would be a wonderful thing to do.
We should get the cheese teacher.
The cheese teacher.
Yeah, Rich.
Cool.
And we could make cheese.
Then we've got
mozzarella in 30 minutes. You're Italian.
There we go.
Like
Oh, gosh, of course. Then we've got about a half a cup of Parmesan. There's a little bit less. We'll add a little bit more there. There we go. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Throw that over there. We just cook that up so it's nice and melty and all yummy in my tummy and whatnot.
See, now this is really cool because I think a lot of people think of lasagna as meat sauce stuff.
Right. And you can probably do that if you want to. I remember when growing up, my mom would actually sit us down and we would help her make little teeny tiny meatballs.
Yeah.
Really?
Okay.
And we'd all wash our hands.
Not the size of matzo balls?
Nah, sometimes she would make the big balls and she would cut them all up, or sometimes she would just, take the ground beef, throw it in the frying pan and with the spices and whatnot. But usually it was the little tiny meatballs because you got to put your cheese in there and I have to tell you, full-blooded Italian, I cannot make meatballs from scratch like my mom used to.